welcome. I am so happy to be practicing restorative yoga with you today. Welcome home to yourself. Today we'll be starting with legs up the wall. So go ahead and scoot your butt right up against the wall and bring your legs. So you've got your legs up the wall. Settle yourself in, tuck your shoulder blades under, let your head be heavy on the ground. And if you have any back issues, you can bend your knees slightly with your legs up the wall. If you don't have a wall, you can always do legs up a chair, legs up a couch. Feel the support of the earth underneath you. Feel the support of the wall. Let yourself be fully supported and just relax in here. In restorative yoga, we let ourselves be fully supported by the props. And here it's the wall and the ground. So this restorative yoga is intended to support women in their perimenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal years who don't sleep well at night. So not sleeping well during the normal sleeping hours of night is incredibly common for women over 45. Most women can fall asleep easily but wake up frequently through the night. Hormonal fluctuations like hot flashes, a busy mind, and inspiration keeps us awake. So sleeping peacefully through the night is no longer the norm. And so in this class, we're going to bring awareness to the outcome of a sleepless night. Instead of struggling to fight the fatigue, we can rest and restore ourselves with yoga. So as you are here with legs up the wall right now, begin by offering yourself acceptance and kindness instead of fighting the fatigue with the habit of productivity. So turning to restorative yoga allows us to greet our fatigue and exhaustion with gentle and tender care. Dropping the struggle to do more allows us to let go of unrealistic expectations and really be in a compassionate and restorative state. So I have a mantra that we're going to use through the class. And it's a mantra that I've adapted from Thich Nhat Hanh. It's really simple. You can do it as you breathe. And if it serves you, if it doesn't, you don't have to use that. So as you breathe in, you can say, breathing in, I meet the exhaustion and fatigue that is present in me. And you can say, hello, fatigue. Hello, exhaustion. Breathing in, I meet the exhaustion and fatigue that's present in me. Hello, fatigue. Hello, exhaustion. And as you breathe out, you say, breathing out, I will take good care of you. Breathing out, I will take good care of you. So breathing in, I meet the exhaustion and fatigue that is present in me. Hello, fatigue. Hello, exhaustion. And we do this with kindness and tenderness. And breathing out, I will take good care of you. Breathing out, I will take good care of you. And you'll have a kind of intuitive sense of what that means to you in your body as you say these words. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to be. Just let these words wash over you and have a felt sense of what they mean to you and your body. Okay, so we've made a commitment in this pose through that mantra that we're going to take care of ourselves. So let's carry that intention as we move out of this pose and as we start to prepare for our next pose. So let's take good care of ourselves as we bend our knees, as we roll to our sides. And if it works for you in this mat position, you can leave your mat here. And if not, then you can move your mat away from the wall. We're going to set up for restorative locust pose now. So for this pose, you're going to need probably most of your props. You're going to need your blocks at the top of your mat. You can have them on this middle position or you can have it on the lower position. They're going to hold your shoulders up, lift your shoulders up and back. I like to put my eye pillow here so that it lifts my forehead so I have room for my nose. You can turn your head to either side too, or you can create a lift with a blanket. You're going to have your bolster at the edge of your mat for your knees and your legs so they're lifted. And this is nice to elevate it so you can put a meditation cushion under it. Like so. I think that's going to need to move down. You have to experiment with a little bit with this, but it works well once we do this. So before we actually come into the pose, I want you to stimulate your adrenals a little bit. So the way that we're going to do this is we're just going to rub your low back, below your kidneys, below your rib cage, kidneys and adrenals. Just to stimulate this, it makes it easier to breathe into it when we get into the pose. And then you're going to go up and in, up and in. So we create a nourishing effect here. So you go up and in. So we bring the energy in. Okay, and then we'll be in this pose for 5 minutes. So the knees come to the base of the bolster and the lower legs are on top of it. The shoulders get supported by the blocks and the forehead goes on the blocks. So take some time, you're taking good care of yourself, to make sure it feels good and you feel well supported and settled in. And then because we spent all that time stimulating your adrenals, you're going to find it probably fairly easy to breathe into your low back here and really nourish your low back here. Nourish your adrenals. So it may be your overactive adrenals that are waking you up in the night. Susan Weed, she's the author of The Wise Woman Way, says if a small noise triggers an adrenaline rush, you waken with your heart pounding and anxious, then you have to go to the washroom. These are signs of adrenaline-mediated hot flashes. And every time you go through this cycle, the adrenals are stressed a little bit more, making it likely that your sleep will be disturbed even more. And Susan Weed recommends that the answer is to nourish the adrenals. Now, restorative yoga and a pose like we're doing right now is excellent for nourishing the adrenals. And Susan Weed has some excellent remedies for nourishing the adrenals as well. And you can let me know in the comments if you would like me to review some of them on my other channel, my yoga lifestyle channel. But for now, just breathe into your adrenals, and you can go back to that mantra if you liked it. Breathing in, I meet the exhaustion and fatigue that is present in me. Hello, fatigue. Hello, exhaustion. Breathing out, I take good care of you. Okay, we're going to take good care of ourselves and slowly come out of this pose. But when you're doing the recording, this is a great pose to stay in for 5 minutes. So I would encourage you to just drag the cursor back over to the beginning of this pose and let it play and do the pose again for another 5 minutes. Stay in it for 10 minutes. A great pose for 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to come up and back. And maybe we'll just do a little bit of cat pose to release the low back, switch the hips from side to side. Taking good care of ourselves because that's the commitment we've made to ourselves, moving slowly, honoring the fatigue. And then we're going to set up our blocks for a little bolster incline here. I think just a low and a medium setting. And you're going to bring your bolster here. And you can put your meditation cushion off to the side. We're going to do an incline twist here. And I'd like you to have your right shin parallel to the side of the mat, your foot on the top of your thigh, and your left shin parallel to the back of your mat. And then you're going to Scoot up to the front of your bolster setup. Turn towards your bolster, and you're going to lengthen your spine nice and long and lie down on it. So nice incline twist here, and you'll get probably a little bit of sensation in your hips here as well. You're going to be in this pose for 5 minutes. This is called deer pose for those of you who do yin yoga, yes. So breathing in, I meet the exhaustion and fatigue that is present in me. Hello, fatigue. Hello, exhaustion. Breathing out, I will take good care of you. So let's really dwell in this present moment and recognize the goodness of our care. The way that we're tending to our tiredness and exhaustion with such kindness and compassion. The goodness that we have chosen to come to yoga today, to offer ourselves the kindness of doing a restorative yoga class. Just really take a moment to notice the kindness that you've offered yourself in doing that. And whenever we practice, we never practice alone. So feel the connection of all the other people who are also offering themselves the goodness of their care, that are also tending to their tiredness with kindness and compassion. So we come together and feel the kindness of so many people. There's a saying that expectations are future resentments. And so the way we are coming to ourselves and recognizing the goodness of our care, we really come home to ourselves and we drop all assumptions about the way things should be after a sleepless night. And we meet ourselves with kindness and compassion. We just listen to the tiredness within us. We take good care of ourselves and our exhaustion instead of abandoning ourselves. Instead of making ourselves busy and neglecting how we're feeling, we come back home. We come back to ourselves and we embrace how we're feeling. We embrace the fatigue and the exhaustion. Okay, with kindness and care, we're going to come to the other side. So this time your left leg will be parallel to the long edge of the mat. Your foot will be on the inside of your thigh, and your right leg will be parallel to the short edge of your mat. And you're going to turn your torso to face your bolster, and you're going to lengthen long over top of it. You're going to be here for 5 minutes. And again, we just recognize our innate goodness, our kindness for taking the time to practice restorative yoga today. We have that kindness and tenderness already within us. And when we relax into it, it naturally expands out into our day. So recognizing the capacity to care for ourselves with kindness that is already here. We can set the intention that knowing that we are already doing that, that we can continue to do that when we leave our restorative yoga practice today. We are kind, so we can continue to be kind to ourselves. Okay, carrying our intention to take good care of ourselves, going to slowly release this pose from your body. And honoring the fatigue and exhaustion that might be present, we are keeping this class really simple. And you're going to go back to legs up the wall, back to legs up the wall, moving slowly, taking good care. Legs up the wall, you'll be there for 10 minutes. And of course, if you don't have a wall, you can use a chair or a couch. So as you come to legs up the wall, you're going to really come home to yourself and take good care of yourself. So your body needs you, your fatigue needs you, your tiredness needs you. So you can be there for yourself right now. And in Legs Up the Wall, I have a John O'Donohue blessing for you, a blessing for one who is exhausted. When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You have been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest, and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken in the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken, and sadness take over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time. When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You have been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken in the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken, and sadness will take over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you rush through. Become inclined to watch the wave of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time. So you're going to slowly bend your knees, bring your legs back down off the wall, and slowly roll to the side, taking good care as you make your way to seated. Whatever goodness our practice has accumulated, we dedicate to the welfare and goodness of all. And I'd love for you to let me know of your intention to take good care of yourself as you move from this class and off your mat by putting "I take good care of my fatigue" in the comments. And if you enjoyed this style of class and this style of teaching, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much.